Welcome to Small Talk. This is Small Talk episode 49 and one half of our big weekend, big week here on the channel for Small Talk. This is part one of it's our regular episode, but then later on tonight we are doing a watch along style for the season 6 finale of Smallville, the episode called Phantom, and we're going to be doing that live. But for right now, we've got count them, four episodes that we got to finish, and oh boy, this last half of this season has just been an absolute I hate using the word chore because I feel like I've used it a lot, but it's the best way I can describe a couple of these episodes. There are two good episodes, or one that don't think is that bad and I'm going to defend, and then one that is just kind of there, really. But I got to introduce my co-host. First up, from the Republic of Latveria, it is Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom, how are you this evening?
To be fair, in this movie, I'm a billionaire from Von Doom Industry. And yeah, I'm born in Latveria, but really I'm a billionaire, just like Norman Osborn in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Doom shall heed no visitors into his man cave!
I didn't say you weren't a billionaire, Dr. Doom. I said you were from Latveria. I got your home country right now. Please shut up. Matt, how are you?
Yeah, it's been a really rough ride for season 6, which we've been bitching and complaining about the love triangle with Lana and Lex, Clark drama bullshit that we just like dragging that show down. But going into this episode, I'm not that excited to talk about the noir episode. It's the worst one. Probably the worst episode of the whole series, in my opinion.
Oh,
Prodigy and Nemesis
bad.
is definitely the best. Then no, it's a fucking Boy Meets World ripoff that the fucking writers had to take notes, and it was kind of a meaningless story. It was only getting good at the whole thing. The only thing that was only good about that episode was the fucking towards the end. That was pushing towards the prototype episode.
Noir is not that bad, but we will get to that.
It fucking is, Brian. It fucking is.
We will
Noir
get to
is
that.
like one of the worst episodes this season.
We've got a couple more episodes to get to first. So save your.
And I'm excited that I can't wait to at some point when on Talkville watch Michael Rosenbaum fucking rant on that episode.
He already hinted. He hinted last episode that he said I did this fucking awful black and white episode of Smallville coming up, and he said it was just one of the worst episodes. He literally already hinted. I'm like, oh, I know that's noir.
Wait for him. Wait for his reaction. Wait for his reaction when he actually talks about it when he watches that episode, and that's gonna be funny.
That's like 20 weeks away or 50 weeks away.
Well, regardless, we have to get started first up with season 6, episode 18, called Progeny.
Where are you going?
It's time, Miss Sullivan.
Who are those people?
Mom, you're even more beautiful than I remember.
Now it's time to put those talents to good use.
You stay away from my daughter.
Don't let your mother make you do something you'll later regret.
Lex, get out of my way.
The drug that Lex used on your mom, she doesn't have much time left.
Smallville, followed by Supernatural. All new episodes this Thursday at 8/7 Central on the new CW.
After Lex discovers that Chloe's mother, Moira, ironically enough, the same name as Oliver Queen's mother in the Arrow show, I'm pretty sure that's a coincidence, has the power to control meteor freaks. He develops a drug to wake her from her catatonic state in the asylum. Then he threatens to kill Chloe unless she uses her power to help him recover several meteor freak escapees from 33.1. Clark helps Chloe break into the asylum to rescue Moira and finally get to know her mother, and he is almost tempted to kill Lex, but lets him live again. Meanwhile, Clark rescues Lana from one of Lex's 33.1 escapees, and she later discovers something shocking about her air quotes pregnancy. Also, Chloe decides to write an article about Lex's Project 33.1, but Lex silences her by threatening to have her locked away unless she remains quiet about his secret projects. So we get to officially meet Chloe's mother, and she's played by Wonder Woman, not Gal Gadot, but Linda Carter. I thought that was a nice touch.
It was a really nice touch that now she's got cast in the role of playing Chloe's mom. We got a little bit more of the backstory of where she was and how this all happened in the first place, why she abandoned her, and why and how she got sick and got mentally ill. And now that they wanted to connect this, that she is meteor infected, just like Chloe. and how they were able to connect that. And now that Lex is using her as a weapon to control other meteor affected, which that was a little bit interesting that we haven't seen before.
Episode was a fucking chore to get through. I mean, this episode, like, basically, I'm just like the first, it starts out interesting. I'm like, okay, Lex, Chloe's the one like injection Lex, and I'm like, okay, she's gonna kill. All right, was she gonna kidnap Lex? And then I'm just like, and then Lex is fine, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, if you're gonna get Chloe to go after Lex, wouldn't you want him to kill Lex? That way, Chloe. I'm just saying that makes no sense, does it, Matt? The fact that you send her after to kill Lex, and then she just drugs him, and that's it. And like, all right, I'm cool, we got it. Then leaves, and I'm like, what the fuck?
The episode kind of starts out pretty good though, when Lex is like talking on the phone and he's driving, and then I guess possessed Chloe like runs him off the road. I thought that was a nice cold open.
I drugged him. Now I have succeeded. She never said kill him. She just said drug Lex. So I did my job. It's like that Simon Says where you're like, okay, Simon says drug him. Simon says kill him. Well, drugs technically do kill people.
Well, she didn't drug him. She knocked him out cold and took the drive. That's all she did. She didn't drug him.
I mean, they just don't make
it was a little bit of shock. It was a little bit of shocking to see a cold opening with Chloe be the one that ran him off the road
we've
like
already
that.
Had something like this happen, remember? And then delete in season 4, or was it 3 or 4?
Yeah, that was. This was like coming to think of it, this was
Chloe?
Definitely a delete 2.0 episode.
It's like they keep recycling ideas that are sometimes worse than the original. Like the lead is actually a decent episode. This episode is just like, okay, I got you have Wonder Woman in the episode. And Wonder Woman, by the way, have you noticed Chloe's mother, whenever she's seen her mother, like season 3 or 4, remember was a background actress with blonde hair?
Well, no, she only saw. We only saw her. We only. Yeah, but we only saw it one time. That was back in season. But that was back in season 5 when she only saw her for the first time when she was in a Canatog state. They didn't have the actress. So now she's
a brunette. We never when did Linda Carter die? When did they dye her hair in the style?
Yeah, there's a lot of shit in this one that kind of wrecked the continuity error. They're like, don't worry about it. We got Linda Carter. Shut up, everybody.
I'm just saying, the mom was blonde, and they couldn't even at least put a blonde wig on Linda Carter. I mean, it would have made sense if she had blonde hair in the past, and then like it would at least be like, oh, well, maybe she dyed her hair. They dyed her hair to make her look different. I mean, it would have made sense.
Chloe just witnessed those two men that were going to grab her and throw her in an institution when she was young, which that kind of retconned a little bit of in this one. Because she had no idea where the hell she was. Because from her point of view, her mom abandoned her, and the only reason that she found out she didn't find out where she was until like season 4 during the nightmare episode that she's in an institution.
Like I said, I was thinking to myself, wait, wasn't this woman blonde a couple seasons ago? Like Linda Carter's a nice get. I'm not going to lie. Miller and Goff underestimate the audience's ability to have 2 eyeballs and a memory.
I mean, if that episode were to come out today, people would do a lot of comparison of the continuity error. If we at the time we didn't have social media to bitch and complain about that episode.
I mean, that's great they got Linda Carter. Really happy they got Linda Carter. I like that most of her scenes are with Lex.
Yeah, somehow he was able to figure out to make a drug to get her out of a catatonic state, temporary.
Which, by the way, I did like this idea though. Like, the idea is, I like the idea that like Lex getting an inmate to attack Chloe's mom, and then Chloe's mom like make it like basically Chloe's mom. Chloe's mom has the same powers as Silver Fox and X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh fuck, dude! But this was before X-Men Origins Wolverine, so apparently Gavin Wood fucking stole that from Smallville. And there's once we get into that prototype episode, there's another one that X-Men Origins ripped off from Smallville.
This seems very to the Spider-Man 3 clip.
Similar.
Yeah, this she has the same powers as Silver Fox, like in this movie. But you know what? She came out first,
Yeah, she did it first. Gavin Wood ripped off a couple shit and elements from Smallville. Because it came out in 2000. Because that movie came out in 2009. This was like in early 2007.
There's even a scene with Chloe with a gun, just like in those.
Yeah, she went all little dark side of Chloe. I don't know if that was under her influence or maybe that was on her own free will. It's a little confusing at times. And also the fucking meteor freak guy who ran free and Chloe's mom just said, go out there and kill Lex. And somehow he ended up in the mansion. How the hell did he know where Lex lives? How the fuck did he know? That's another
Also,
little plot hole.
Why would he
right
attack
here.
Lana? Why would he attack Lana? It makes no fucking sense.
I was like, come on. They need, oh yeah, guess what? They need to make this dramatic attention and they need excuses for Lana to go to the fucking hospital without any doctors attached that is like be on a Lex's payroll.
It would have made more sense if he said kill Luther.
So that we can
And then-
make the discovery of Lana's pregnancy. Spoiler alert, she got fake pregnancy the whole fucking time.
And this
Wait,
How did you feel? How did you
Don't
feel
tell
about
us.
that reveal? How did you feel about that reveal, Ryan?
How do you feel?
First of all, this doctor went completely into business for himself. It'd be like, you faked a marriage to a billionaire.
That's what you took to fake a pregnancy and to force a marriage to a billionaire.
Shut your bitch ass up!
I'm like, dude, who are you? Like,
That's
who?
a fucking reach, okay? That is you're reaching on. He's like, I am gonna tell everyone I'm gonna write a bestseller. I'm rich now because I
And first of all, and also he discovers that she had a fake pregnancy, and somehow he did not report this shit. He's not on Alexa's payroll, so why didn't he report this shit? Is that supposed to be illegal to do some shit like that?
No,
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
This hell is that a doctor. There are doctors on file that have reported her pregnancy as she is pregnant. Okay, would I contact those doctors, the ones that are at least alive, like the one female doctor?
Yeah, the one we last saw her. Because there's no coincidence that after the marriage that Lex stopped giving her hormones that he injected with, made a fake miscarriage, and like when the side effects had fucking worn off, like that was, dude. What did you think about Lex pulling all that strings and doing a fake pregnancy to trap her, to force her in the marriage like that? That, I mean,
Lex
that's
is
just
a monster.
Lex is a like he's at a, I mean he's at a point from he came from being a most complex. We know he's a monster, but he believes he's right, to being a big piece of shit in this
Like,
season.
this is the evil. This is what we're telling you, that Lex does something heinous in season 6. He drugs Lana into making her think she's pregnant because he's afraid she would leave her. So he drugged her like an animal and made her think she's pregnant. And then he made her have a miscarriage, at least the effects of a miscarriage, just to just to cover his own ass.
Yeah,
And
and it was like,
then-
what the fuck?
And then basically creates the Winter Soldier, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to Prototype. But
But like, do you think Lex is a piece of shit? Do you think that's the most evilest thing Lex has done?
in this show, yes, so far. I mean, good Lord. I mean, like Matt was touching on just a second ago, we've gone from Lex, who's like this, like he wants to do good, but like Destiny's kind of pulling him towards the evil side, to now he's just a plain villain at this point. Like all
Yeah, I was like, what
complexity
the
has-
hell happened? Like, no, I don't mind if he wants to become a monster, but for his
He's not.
own
Yeah,
reasons.
he's not like
he's
100% Lex. Like he's not Lex Luthor yet, but he is 80% there.
just could not believe that the writers can go that low for the Lex character to go that far. If that episode were to come out today, I don't know if that would even work.
I would have been like, that's especially with what's happening right now with the abortion subject topic and everything. Oh, the Smallville writers would say, do not put that episode in there. They would say,
Oh
no.
yeah, no, they would not get away with it today.
They
See
would say,
that,
do not put that.
see that fire over there? Let's throw some gasoline on it. Why
And
not?
personally, I didn't like how they went in that direction, because I thought that was like, I feel like I understand that you want to make him a monster, but don't make him a biggest piece of shit that we really want to hate this character.
I will say I did like it though. I did like that Lex. It's like how it's showing how Lex, because you got to villainize him. Like he is the villain of the story, you know.
Yeah,
No,
we
I
have to
got
get-
that,
we
but I just
have
think
to
they
get
kind of
there.
there's kind of a line where he goes a little too far on the things that could be very unforgiven. Because the point about the Lex character, like I mentioned before, he's complex. Yeah, he's a monster, but he's doing it for his own right reasons and his own misguided mind, and that makes him the most dangerous opponent as the villain of the character who thinks he's right.
And I won't spoil Ryan for what happens in season 7, but he does something that's even more heinous in season 7, to where you were like, okay, this is not just Lex is officially this character. He is officially Lex Luthor. You know, like this is not like Lex is. There is no 80-20 though. This is 100% completion, because you're like, this is a villain. He needs to be stopped.
I mean, I find
Yeah.
it very funny that they wanted to force this whole attack the attacker who attacked Lana in the mansion, just so that she can be able to go to the hospital without Lex being involved, meeting with a doctor who was not on the payroll with Lex to get that big reveal of the fake pregnancy, which I find it very funny and convenient.
We get a nice moment at the end with Chloe and her mom, and basically Chloe's mom is being written off, and this is some of Allison Mack's best acting right here in that little bubble.
This was probably Linda Carr's best acting that I've seen her do in anything, because she's mostly been on television shows, but I've never seen her act her ass off in that role. To me, look, we can bitch what we want about the flaws of this episode, but that episode is this part of this episode is my favorite, when she's about to relapse in a catatonic state, because she's sacrificing her old illness to protect Chloe from Lex. He's like, hey. And she wants to protect her from herself because she is a living weapon that she can control other people with. No.
Isn't that the reason why she got committed?
The reason why she left, because there was one time that she told Chloe that she had all the ink on her hands, and she decided to type the paper, but she told her to wash her hands. But she got furious and completely forced her, controlling her, and then she was scrubbing her hand very raw and it was bleeding all over the floor. And she doesn't remember that. So that's what drove them apart, because she was protecting her from herself.
Oh, she was afraid she might kill her.
Yeah, she might not be able to control herself.
So that was in a bubble. That was very well done. This is
also Chloe. Also, have you noticed that Chloe? I like that Chloe, when Chloe tricks Clark, says when she tells Chloe to leave town, and then Chloe's like, "I gotta go," and then she goes, "Oh, I'm fine, Clark. Can you go get me some water?" And then she goes like to Clark, like,
damn, she just pulled a 180 on that kryptonite, bro. That's what happens when you have a best friend who knows everything about you and knows about your weakness.
I do like when Lex confronts Chloe about the paper. She's like, "I'm writing a paper on you." And then Lex is like, "Go ahead, write the paper, but then I have charges on you." And she goes, "If I have to do a little jail time to do it, then so be it." And he goes, "I thought you were going to say it, but then there's always plan B." And I honestly, when I thought, I'm like, oh, he means he's going to kill you. He said, he's not above killing you.
I think he's just pulling the scared tactic to spite Clark, too. Like, I don't know if he would actually go that far, but I think he's just doing everything he can. Because if she has no proof on Lex, then he has nothing to worry about. But I think he's just using that as a scare tactic to really get her to not fucking post the story.
You know what I would think he would do, though? I told Ryan, I said, Ryan, this is a joke. I said it'd been funny if he would have been like, "There's always a plan B," and she goes, "What is that?" And he runs over to the keyboard, delete. It's done. It's done.
From that moment, the funny part about that scene, when Chloe was trying to break her mom out of the 33.1, and she has that fucking like smoke bomb, the smoke launcher, whatever the hell that was. She did not hesitate to fucking shoot his ass without giving it, like, "Chloe, you're not yourself. He's controlling you." He's like, "Fuck
Clark
you."
Waited too.
I thought it was the funniest shit. And from that moment on, when Clark was just looking at that fucking thing, was aiming right at his face. For that moment, I was like, please don't push him out of the way. Just let him get hit. Let him die, please.
We do have quite a few episodes to talk about tonight, so we do have to move on. But Jacob, 1 to 10 shields on Progeny.
3 out of 10.
3? Mm-hmm. All right. Matt, what about you?
I don't care. I like the episode. I've seen worse episodes than this, but I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10. I liked it.
You're fucking crazy, man.
No.
Yeah, I don't fucking
like this episode.
Fuck you, Jake. Like I don't kiss my ass. I don't care. Oh God, I will defend this shit.
Dr. Doom, shove him right up your snatch.
Okay, that's a disturbing visual, but okay. I'm going to go 4 out of 10. There are good moments here, but the moments are few and far between. This was a tricky one to get through, but believe me, it's gonna get worse. So with that in mind, let us now move on. My personal favorite of the bunch is episode 19 called Nemesis.
I stopped expecting you to act like a friend a long time ago.
Were we ever really friends, Lex?
I don't know. I have nothing to compare it to. You're the only real friend I've ever had, Clark. And somewhere along the way, you saw me as your nemesis. Turn your back on me. Lex!
Smallville, followed by Supernatural. All new episodes this Thursday at 8/7 Central on the new CW.
After Jodie Keenan, the wife of a Special Forces soldier, sets off a pipe bomb in one of Lex's secret labs, Lionel's severely injured and Lex is taken hostage by the enraged spouse, claiming Lex kidnapped and her missing husband. Jodie threatens to blow up the entire lab with Lex inside unless he tells her where her husband is. Lex naturally denies knowing Jodie's husband. Wes. Clark sets off to rescue Lex, but is immediately felled by the kryptonite lining in the earthen walls. Drat. Lex and Clark realize the only way they will make it out alive is by helping each other before the bomb detonates. Meanwhile, Lionel reveals to Lana why he forced her into marrying Lex, which leads her to investigate Lex's secret research on 33.1, as well as his work tracking down the Phantom Zone escapees to capture and use one as part of his army of superhuman soldiers. I just wish they said like he's creating the Legion of Doom, but this is the best episode of the four we're talking about.
If this were a Legion of Doom, we would have had a bunch of DC villains, rogues gallery, but these are just random meteor infected, and might as well be, hey, the Winter Soldier called. He wants that fucking concept back.
He wants his origins back, but this is the best.
He wants his origins back.
This is the best episode of the four. This is very Clark and Lex heavy. I missed this. I really did.
I mean, this is. Well, I think we're all gonna say this is. I mean, we're all simpatico, right? Like this is the best episode of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by a lot.
I totally agree. Yeah, it really just harkens back to now we got them in that Clark and Lex in the same room together, and how this whole friendship thing will be the test of their time, and they have their pivotal moment when they are already becoming biggest enemies, and the trust will be tested too in this episode, which I thought was very interesting, and the tensions got a little bit higher this time around, and Lana is going on a little dark side, taking advantage of the situation with Lionel when now he's hospitalized. Now she wants to fucking demand answers. Why the fuck did you have me trapped in the marriage with him? I can literally kill your ass and I can be free from your ass.
This is like the most useful Lana has been in like 5 episodes, give or take.
10 seasons. Like
and then Lionel pulls a 180, like, I'm protecting Clark. Like, what the fuck? Like, you just threatened me to kill him if I didn't go through the fucking marriage, but now you're just saying that you want to protect him. What the hell is going on? Am I a fucking pawn in this game?
Lionel, my brother in Christ, you desperately need to figure out whether you shit or get off the pot when it comes to protecting Clark or wanting to kill him. You can't have both.
Which I wish literally, like I said, it would have been like what Lana would have told Lana. What day of the week is it? Like Wednesday or Thursday? Oh well, today this week I'm trying to say. Tomorrow might be a different story.
I want a straight answer.
I think that the clear answer that he just used that as an excuse to get Lana to get close to Lex to what he's really up to about his little 33.1 experiment, the tracking from one of the zoners, which I think that's the reason why he forced her in the marriage in the first place, just to use her as a pawn.
You know what I think? Lionel has his scheduled planned out like the days of the week. He'd be like, Monday, fuck with Lex. Tuesday, plan something big. Wednesday, help Clark. Thursday, betray Clark. Friday, fuck with Lana. And Saturday, try to hit
fuck with Lex is like is every other Tuesday.
Sunday, do business shit.
I was going to say watch the game, but that makes a lot more sense.
I'm just saying, like, that's usually, I feel like that's all we see Lionel do is he's either fucking with Lex, fucking with Clark, fucking with Martha, or fucking with Lana. Like, there's literally, or he's maybe occasionally does business work. That's usually Lionel.
Yeah, we're always wondering what the fuck is his agenda in all this, because we still don't have the full answer or full picture.
I will say in the season finale, all of his cards will be on the table.
It's all going to be answered in the finale. Yeah, you're right. It does get answered. But at the fucking time when I watched that show on that fucking episode during its run, I was like, what the fuck is going on with Lionel? Like, can we trust this guy? Or is he going to fucking find a way to backstab Clark and he's back to being the evil Lionel?
Like, who can you trust a mania?
It might as well be a fucking WWE situation.
You know what I really liked about Nemesis, though, is that this is literally the only time we've seen Lex and Clark together in an episode in more than like 5 minutes, where because usually it's Clark comes in and goes, Lex, what did you do?
And
Clark's like,
they actually have a bond. They
I
actually went back to having a bond, and they were just slowly getting back to what they know best about being best buds. And that moment when Lex says like, "You're the only real friend that I ever had," and you turned your back on me, and like, oh wow, that
And
got
then
fucking deep right there.
and then Clark follows that up with, "Were we ever really friends, Lex?" Jesus Christ, that was like right. That was like freight train hitting you right there.
And yeah, because looking back, because he even said that I saw a glimpse of the old Lex, that my friend, and I did not see him as my enemy. What if my my secret keeping from him is what pushed him away, and I gave up on him way too soon. Yeah, I mean, it does have a good point, because the reality is he should have told them a long time ago, and that the whole trust and the whole friendship would have turned out differently. But they got to build conflict between the two of them, because we know that they're going to become mortal enemies.
And you know what I really I liked about Lex in this episode was, like, I like how Clark says to her, like, about Lon he told Lex the truth about Lon. Oh, she was not going to marry you. She was going to marry me, be with me. But guess what? And so he said, I don't know what you
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
And
like yeah,
Lex
she was gonna
believes
leave
him.
you. Yeah, it's like why
Lex
did you force
believes
her?
him.
Yeah,
Lex
from that
believes
moment,
it
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like that right there is when Lex kind of distrusts Lana, because Lex right there, that's right there shows that Lex like Rex right there realizes Lana doesn't love him. Why? Whenever he said, like, when Clark tells him that, Lex sees that as, oh, she really doesn't love me. And that, like, even though Lex says what he says to Lana about, maybe she saw my heart, even though Lex truly believes Clark, like, Lex knows that Clark's just not going to make that shit up.
No,
And I
he
like
wouldn't.
that he
No, he
was.
knows he wouldn't lie about that in a situation like this, especially in the moment when he's all fucked up.
All right, and so I like that. I like that Lex didn't just, like he said, Clark, like, this is not no time for your crowd. Like, I'm glad that they
The
didn't try
funny,
to.
and also the funny thing, when he saw him get stabbed with a bunch of meteor rocks with kryptonite, he's like, "Hey, I stabbed you with a chisel, and it was made out of fucking steel. You may have mortal flesh wound, but you always had some secret that you kept from me, and you never trusted me."
I do like also that, like, when Lex, like, goes and then Lex comes back and then he tries to help Clark get out.
Oh yeah, when he was getting like dumped onto the full of debris, and
Yeah.
we were wondering, it's coming off the suspense: is he gonna leave him there to die, or is he gonna come back and save him? Ryan, I got a question for you. Did you really think that Lex was gonna leave him there to die, or do you really think he was gonna actually save Clark and get him out of the debris?
No, he wouldn't have left him there. I mean, it's a thing. It's again, here's another X-Men Origins Wolverine reference, which is about five more references than anyone has done since that movie's release. But I'm going somewhere with this. It's where Wolverine is hanging off of the dam with, I can't believe it's not Deadpool, with his like sword in hand, and Sabretooth stops him and says, "Nobody kills you but me." It's
I
like
was literally gonna say that for that moment.
I
That's
think
so
it's
true.
I think it's a "nobody kills you but me" type situation.
They have a dysfunctional brotherly love relationship.
And like I do believe in that movie, Sabretooth would never kill Logan. Like, Sabretooth loves him like a brother, so we've been through war together. I'm not gonna kill you, okay? I love you. And no, that's like, because he could have killed him at that log fight. He could have killed him then, but he didn't, because he goes, I'm not going to kill you because you're my brother. Even though he said, like, he does want him to know, like, he does want him to give breadcrumbs to, like,
He
lead him
wants to
astray.
he wants to give him a reminder that you're an animal. You don't have the humanity, and no matter how many times you try to fight it, you're too afraid to embrace your true nature, like I am.
And I don't. And, like, by the way, I'm just gonna say this now in case no one knows this. I don't consider that Sabretooth. That is Victor Creed. Sabretooth was an X-Men in the movie. Okay, even though yes, Victor Creed's are the same person, but the way the Fox movie have
They
it,
made fun of it. They made fun of it in Deadpool. Like,
they
he's your
split them into two
brother.
people. Fox
That
kind of
was
split them into two people. They have Victor Creed, which is Logan's brother, and then they have Sabretooth, which is a big fucking henchman that's played by Tyler Mane. That is literally looks like a tiger.
well. To be honest, that it was never part of the canon. When after that movie was released, they don't want to consider that as a canon.
Yeah, which by the way, have you noticed that it would have been really funny if it would have been? Like, wait, did they address that in Deadpool? Like, saying, "Oh, look, it's
Your
Leon
brother.
Schreiber."
Yeah, no. He said your brother, Sabretooth, your brother. Which was a knockoff joke from X-Men Origins that Deadpool had to drop.
Like, I would have been like this, your brother. I wish Deadpool did your brother. Yeah, he looks. He said, "Oh, Liam Schreiber has an Asian."
Because that line was done on purpose for people who have seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, and that was made to be an inside joke.
Because I mean, that was so stupid. Because like that Sabretooth never even recognizes Logan in that movie.
Yeah, that's why that was one of the part of the problems of the continuity errors of the Fox's X-Men movies, and they just because they'd seen the fucking backlash and how big of a disaster that X-Men Origins was, and they're like, you know what, we're not going to make this part of the timeline. That's just a bullshit Elseworld story that we did, and like it's not important.
You know, Hugh Jackman said he wanted to have Liam Shriver reprise as well as
yeah, Logan,
Creed
yeah,
and Logan, but he said Liam couldn't do it because he was shooting Ray Donovan. But it was supposed to be Logan every year gets his ass beat by Victor. Victor comes and they fight each other, and then they leave, and then Victor leaves, and Logan leaves. But what happened was, and they said there was a plan after he sells the car, gets the car. Victor comes in and they get into a big fight, and then they both and then they all.
I mean, honestly, I think that would have been. I'm glad that was not in the movie. That would have been way too heavy exposition. It would kind of ruin the tone and ruin the story, and it wouldn't have served anything. It wouldn't have done anything. Like, yeah, he's here. Like, even after all these fucking years, they fucking meet up again. Like, it just would have brought so many plot holes.
Why don't you help him? You know, I mean.
Yeah, so that's why I think they made a right decision to not bring him into the movie.
It was smart because a lot of people like to think, because I mean, the whole idea is all the mutants are dead.
Yeah, they were practically extinct.
Yeah, like basically the mutants, which if you actually watch the movie, if you watch all the X-Men movies, do you know they were setting up a Mr. Sinister as the main, as the?
No, they set up. No, here's the no. In X-Men Apocalypse in the end credit scene, yeah, they definitely set up Mr. Sinister, but they never went anywhere with it.
But if you notice though, the company that Logan and them are is the Aztec.
Yeah, it was Alkaline. Yeah, it was Alkaline, and the scientist Richard E. Grant was part of the Weapon X program.
And then on top of it, in Deadpool and Wolverine, and Deadpool 2, they have the Sinister's orphanage, and then a New Mutant Sinister's hospital. I mean, it's just like they were literally leaving breadcrumbs for Mr. Sinister.
That was just mostly an Easter egg, but they were going to set that up, and I mentioned it, and I've already said this before, and I'll say it again. That was one of those end credit scene that they were setting this up. If this movie were successful for X-Men Apocalypse, but they see how badly it performed for critically and financially, and they're like, you know what, we're going to scrap that plan. We're not going to go anywhere with Mr. Sinister.
I'm watching one YouTuber about.
Me in the future put in the clip in the context of when Fox tries to greenlight a big one of their big X-Men villains, the clip from George of the Jungle where the three dudes going, now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready? Ready. Ha 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 ha.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
But Nemesis, I will say before we get to Nemesis, I will say Chloe, I'm sorry, I'm on my notes. I do like the soldier's wife and abducting Lex and injuring Lion. I thought that was really cool. And I do like that Lex killing the soldier's wife, like he shoots her, and then like she dies and sets it off, and that's what starts this whole thing, and Lonnie getting her revenge on Lionel.
She blew herself up. She was bullet wounded, and he was about to like have her come out of that fucking place alive. It's like, hey, come on, we'll get out alive together. And she's like, go fuck yourself. Boom, I'm gonna let you die along with me.
That was awesome too.
That was balls. That takes balls, dude. That was ballsy, dude.
And I also like that Lana telling the cops off, like he said, "Oh, I will let you have
Don't
this."
You find that very funny that she grabbed that fucking Lexus briefcase that was supposed to be a fucking crime evidence? First of all, the cops I don't fucking care if you're a fucking wife's a billionaire married to a billionaire. They will not let you take that that evidence that's supposed to be taken as an evidence. Oh, but you need a fucking warrant on that. No, they don't. If it's a crime scene, they have every right to take it as evidence.
Now, also I liked Lana seeing the video of the Phantom attacking. Like you see an extended version.
Yeah, you saw the point of view from those tourists somewhere around the world, and you saw that same sequences of from the first episode of the premiere at the end where the Phantom came out of nowhere. So yeah, it's bringing it back. Who is this mysterious Phantom?
By the way, who do you think the Phantom is, Ryan? It's a famous Superman villain. I'll give you that. It is a famous Superman villain.
We'll give you that a hint.
We'll give you that as a hint. That's it.
Okay. Well, not the Parasite one. That was earlier. I'm not gonna say Doomsday because I think that's later in the show.
Like, just come up with it, whatever comes to your mind. There's no wrong answer. We just want to see you think outside the box.
I'm gonna get roasted if I guess wrong.
No, you won't get roasted.
You're not gonna get roasted. We
just want to see you speculate. Like, dude, we know what it is, but we want to curious to see what do you think it is.
I don't know, Sinestro.
Wrong. Superman villain. That's a Green Lantern.
That's a Green Lantern villain.
Well, it's a better answer than I don't know.
I mean, how many villains do you know for Superman's
you can
villains?
think of, and then just guess one of them.
We're gonna get to Darkseid eventually, I imagine.
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny.
You never know.
Or it could be Zod again cosplaying as a Dementor. I guess we'll just...
Zod, I am back! Jor-El!
Zod, son of Jor-El.
You thought, yes, I escaped. Or you know what, who it could be? Fallon as a Phantom.
Oh, God.
You know who it could be? What if it was Mr. Pit? What if it's the real version of Mr. Pitlick, the real one?
Oh, God.
Or it
like,
could
hey, Clark, what up?
All right, well...
Clark!
He's the goofy version, like, oh, I can zap you mentions. Ooh.
Lana, come here, Lana! Woo! Hey, give me some sugar, baby!
Give me some sugar, baby! Come on, Lana!
All right, Ash and other character from the Evil Dead. We need to get to Noir. So 1 to 10 for Nemesis.
Before we wait, what was that? I will say though that the truck that also that made me laugh is the truck product placement. When Clark pulls up, it's in a truck he's never even seen.
It's in a Tundra.
Where the hell did he drive in a fucking Tundra?
I mean, it just made me laugh though. Just like Lex pulls up, he's like, Lana. You make sure he sees the product placement, like Smallville is brought to you by a Tundra today. Like
brought to you by a Tundra. I guarantee if I remember correctly, I think they fucking promoted it on the episode. I think they did promote it on the episode on commercial break.
I was like, okay, this is product placement, but okay. Yep, I will say if I'm gonna give this a grade, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
All right, Matt, what about you?
Yeah, this is definitely the best out of the 4 we've seen. And yeah, this is definitely a 9 out of 10. This is definitely great. I love that we get a little bit more of the bonding between Lex and Clark and how their friendship and their trust be tested. Now, because even though that they're mortal enemies, but I thought that this was such a great way to get us more into the
and
depth
I do like that
and have him Clark be a little bit more conflicted with Lex.
And I like that Lana Gaslight saying, you would never, he says, if someone ever lied to me, they would lose my love forever. Saying like, I know all about the baby.
Oh, and wait, was that very funny that Lana was willing to let Lex die in that hill, die in underground if she had no idea Clark was even involved, she was willing to let his ass to die, and then when she comes up to Clark, she thought that he was the only one who made it out of there. She had no idea that Lex did. I was like, oh, hey, Clark. And then she sees Lex, and her mind's like, fuck. Fucking A, damn it. He's alive.
In her mind, she was thinking, oh, it's cleaner this way. But I'm going 9 as well. We are simpatico. This was the best episode of the 4. Is very enjoyable. It's Clark and Lex heavy, which basically means that it's the best by a lot. But now...
It's sexy Lexi.
Now watch as I, the humble owner of this YouTube channel and the host of this program, die on the hill.
You can always be full of shit. We have not brought that out in a while. Matt, I think it's time for someone to be full of shit.
Die on the hill of defending.
And the full of shit, the award goes to
Ryan Cam, everyone.
Season 6.
Ryan, say some words. You're full of shit this year.
You're full of shit. Take a bow.
Season
Take
6.
a bow for your bullshit, Ryan.
Season 6, episode 20, called Noir.
Next Thursday on Smallville.
I'm Clark Kent.
Love.
Is this real?
Power.
Losing your grip, Paps. You used to run this town.
And murder.
I hear you're the best.
Smallville. All new episode next Thursday on the new CW.
After a secret meeting with Lionel, Lana is shot at the Daily Planet by a mysterious gunman. Jimmy is knocked out while studying photographs of the scene and dreams about a 1940s black and white version of Smallville. Jimmy finds himself playing the role of a reporter with Chloe, his secretary, and a bumbling Clark who also works there as his sidekick. Because irony, you see. Jimmy's investigation leads him to Lana, who turns out to be a very evil femme fatale who plans to orchestrate the murder of her tycoon husband, Lex, by using Jimmy as the patsy. Jimmy's research further takes him to a notorious nightclub owned by Lionel Luther, and Lois is a sultry singer working at the club who is having a fling with Lex to help him orchestrate the murder of Lana. Meanwhile, back in 2007, Clark discovers why Lana married Lex after Chloe learns it from Lana. Also, Lois further meddles in the shooting case by stealing a silver-lined cigarette case, which holds a clue. So, I this episode
There's a
is
secret. There's a secret fucking flash drive in a cigarette hole. What the fuck?
this
Who
episode is
Lex carries that shit? Like, dude, you do know when the fuck did Lex ever smoke in real life? Not aside from the fucking fantasy dream that Jimmy had. And you could tell when fucking Michael Rosenbaum and fucking John Glover, when they were smoking, they're definitely puffing. They're not even fucking inhaling. If you're a real fucking smoker, you would spot bullshit right there.
By the way, have you know the movie starts with product placement from WB? It's just like they're watching it, it says
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, and I'm just like, oh god.
How the irony of the fucking product of placement.
you're watching The Big Sleep on Turner Classic Movies. But this episode is highly unnecessary, but I don't care. I liked it. I like the style of it.
There are things I do like in this episode, I will admit.
All right, go ahead.
I like the ending.
Because the episode ended, right?
Yeah, when
I like Lana getting shot. I do like Lionel seeing Jimmy, hearing what he's saying. You know, I liked all the stuff before the fucking noir shit. I thought that was really good. I will say, in the noir stuff, the only things I do like, I think Clark with glasses was pretty fun. Like,
yeah,
oh,
the
look,
Clark, that was a
glasses.
definitely on the nose fucking like foreshadowing the Clark Kent disguise and playing the fucking journalist by day, and then he's a fucking undercover fucking detective.
I will say, you know what I thought was really funny? I thought really what worked for me was the thing that worked for me though. I thought what really worked for me was you know, I thought John Glover is great in the noir scenes. I thought all the noir scenes he did perfectly.
Yeah.
Like you could tell he's been waiting for a day like this.
He was
It almost
very
felt like he was
Humphrey
in a
Bogart.
fucking play. It felt like he was in a play.
You know, he was really good though. I thought he was really good. I also thought Erica Durance was sexy as fuck in this episode.
My god, she reminded me of fucking Jessica Rabbit from fucking Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That type of character, who's a fucking singer and being all sexy and mysterious and all that stuff.
Erica
Durance reminded me of that.
Erica Durance is the hottest thing on this show anyway.
Clark, what are you smoking? You two have chemistry. You want to be with Lana, but you don't want to be with Lois, who's far better than Lana.
This episode even implies
that woman Lois is a fucking dynamite.
Dreams, by the way, this is all in Jimmy's head, but yeah, and even in Jimmy's head, Clark's meant to be with Lana. I'm like, this is just basically telling Erica Durance, hey, guess what? Who's never gonna be Clark's love interest? You.
They were really dragging that shit in the mud. Like, come on, she's been in like fucking 3 seasons now. Are you not going to build that relationship between the two of them?
You would think that would be start building towards something. Instead, they're still on the Clark and Lana bullshit.
It's like
I feel like this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. We're just doing this with Clark and Lana. We're doing this in circles,
round and around,
going forward.
To quote Gloria Stewart from Titanic, it's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years.
I don't care about Lex and Lana, Clark and Lana. That's the biggest fucking thing I hate about the season. Even on the poster, it's like Lex holding Lana like this. And Clark
the fucking DVD cover. Like, oh god, I was like, what the fuck are we?
I don't care.
Which was it was a bad fucking Photoshop from Tom Welling's fucking photo shoot that looks so fucking.
I actually like the poster.
I did not like it. I mean, that's just
my issue is
here's a love triangle. That it just felt like a love triangle as a fucking theme season 6.
Season 4's love triangle was less annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it was. But I like the style of the noir scenes. I love how detailed it is. Clearly, Miller and Goff are noir fans. I can tell that for sure.
It's like they watched a Citizen Kane or something like that, or Casablanca, and said, "You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make a Casablanca."
And it looked like they was in the whole fantasy dream for Jimmy Olsen. It felt like they fucking took notes from Boy Meets World when fucking like Topanga goes inside the fucking vent and enters in this fucking parallel reality of the fucking noir world.
It's like their blockbuster whole this week was Casablanca, Universal Soldier, And what was the two
And ripping
episodes?
and ripping off from a fucking sitcom show.
They ripped off Boy Meets World. And there's two. What? I'm trying to think. What episode would best emphasize the Chloe's mother?
Oh man,
Oh,
I don't.
maybe 12 Monkeys.
I don't know about 12 Monkeys. It's hard to say.
But
Nemesis. I mean, Nemesis is probably the best original thing they did.
yeah,
Yeah. Unless someone points it out and saying, "Hey, here's what they got from this movie."
My Bloody Valentine. No, that's
That's the Valentine episode.
but it's
but yeah, I mean, really, I mean, the next episode is Universal Soldier. I mean, that is the next episode.
I mean, it was kind of weird that when he gets knocked unconscious and he is in a fantasy world, which is kind of filled with so full of exposition heavy that has nothing to do with the main story until he wakes up and tries to connect the dots. Because I feel like that whole cigarette thing was just a fucking MacGuffin that they had to fucking do to move the plot further by the end of the episode.
This whole episode was a fucking filler.
Oh yeah, it was totally a filler.
I mean,
I will say the only thing I did like the stuff before the noir stuff. I like the build up, and then at the end of the episode, I really liked with Lionel is sitting there with his henchmen, and then like Lois looking for because Lois stole the cigarette case.
Yeah, the
and
flash
then,
drive, and also also Lana's attacker that was by Senator Berg, which that's gonna lead into the prototype episode, which it was not from Lionel, and it was definitely not from Lex who would want to hurt Lana. So yeah, it was probably had something to do with the connection with Senator Berg had an arrangement with Lex. Also, Chloe falling to her death. Fucking Jimmy almost asked
saves
that
the day.
Yeah, well, Clark just saved her. If it weren't for fucking Chloe falling to her death, he would. If he had not come to the rescue, she would.
And how dumb was Jimmy in the dream to close that picture? He sees Lex and Lois in the noir stuff making out, so he gets right in front of their faces and takes a picture, and then runs the fuck away. Like,
that was so badly handled. Like, dude, you were literally right in front. And here's the thing: they're going in the same.
Like, hey, you might as well say, hey, Lex,
did you notice that that's the same set of the fucking Ken farm when they're in the barn doing their own little makeout section?
Yeah, because
you might as well say, hey, Lex, say cheese.
Did you notice? And did you notice in the opening of the episode we saw the Gotham shot from Batman Begins?
Yes, I did.
By the way, you want to hear something crazy? The driving scenes are terrible. Are fucking terrible. It just looks like something you would see, like the driving scene in the first Saw movie. Remember the chase scene in Saw 1? Where they're like this, going in, they're speeding the camera up. That looks more fucking real than this. Where it's just like Lex is like this, going.
It feels like you're watching a shitty version of Walmart Sin City. Doing a little driving. And I like, hey, we can do it too.
Maybe
like Sims City. The Sims.
Oh, Sims.
Fuck.
Remember those?
I'm just saying, this whole episode was an afterthought.
Yeah, it was unnecessary.
It was unnecessary, yes, but I like the style of it. And I'll defend.
You must really love fucking.
I admire what they did, but I hated it.
You must really love the fucking old classic 1940s, 30s movie.
Oh, Ryan was getting.
I think you're a sucker for that.
I do.
Ryan texted. I'm getting a hard on watching Casablanca.
No,
I still. I surprisingly have never seen Casablanca.
You should. It's really good. And
it is really
good. I grew up watching, Casablanca and Key Largo, which is a severely underrated movie from Humphrey Bogart and Edgar G. Robinson. So I love the dedication to the bit here. If this episode needed to exist, I'm glad at least for the 2/3 of it they committed to the bit and they went full force with it. So
Jimmy Olsen he is a really fan of old school classic noir movies. It's like, hey, they don't make them like they used to. Kind of like the same people when they love these 80s, 90s movie, like they don't make them like they used to. You people in fucking generations these days.
I will agree with you, Matt. Those people are very annoying because
don't you find that very annoying? Like, dude, films evolve. They don't fucking devolve in filmmaking of evolution of storytelling and tech.
So, I mean, have you seen some of these? I feel it pisses me off when they try to redo movies like 80s style, where they're like, oh, we're gonna make movies, but it's gonna be set in the 80s, and it's really an awful depiction. You're just like, why didn't you just make it modern day? Because obviously you don't know how to make an 80s movie.
No, you
There's
don't.
some of them that do pull. There's some that do pull it off.
There are
Some
some,
do.
yeah,
There's just
some.
some. There's just some Hollywood that tried to be like the '80s and it just doesn't feel right. And it's
You
just
know
like
what? I will say Babylon was a really good depiction of the 30s.
Oh, Babylon's so good. I love that movie. But
the one '80s that they actually pulled it off was Stranger Things. That they actually depict the '80s better than most other fucking movies and TV
I
shows.
love Babylon. I'm just gonna say I love Babylon freaking death.
I
I mean,
love Babylon too.
Tobey Maguire has the funniest lines in the movie when he's
It's
talking about his bad movie ideas.
Oh
coked
god.
out Tobey Maguire with the yellow teeth and fantasizing
I felt
about
like we were in a fucking underground of Hollywood of fucking hell of a fucking sex trafficking thing.
It becomes an entirely different movie when they're down there with a gimp eating wraps.
I was like, what is that? What's going on right now?
He's like, you ever heard of Wyatt Earp? What if the Wyatt Earp joke in Babylon made me die laughing? You remember the joke, right?
It was incredible.
I've only seen it. I've only seen that once, and I haven't watched it for a long time. I do own the movie, but I haven't seen it in a very long time. But yeah, I totally agree with you. They did a great depiction of the old school of the 1930s or 40s of Hollywood filmmaking, and I think Damien Chazelle really captured it beautifully well and made it more authentic.
I will say, I wish he would make more movies like that. I would watch every single movie he makes.
Exactly.
I'm like, I was laughing my ass off at some of that stuff. I'm like, this is actually really funny, especially the Tobey Maguire stuff. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't realize how funny Spider-Man could be as a methed out bad guy.
Chazelle for me is 4 for 4. Whiplash, La La Land, First Man, and Babylon. All of them are absolute winners to me. But
I've never seen First Man, but I have seen
First Man was a decent
Whiplash
movie
is
for me.
fantastic.
It's one of the First Man was one of those movies that it was good for the time, but it wasn't as well beloved, and it was kind of like an afterthought of a Damien Chazelle film. But his other movies like Whiplash, La La Land, those two were his best work. Babylon, I actually enjoyed. I don't think it was as great as that some people that really loved it, but I don't think it deserved to get hated than it did from critics.
Well, I think what it is they were like they said it's basically it's not Damien. It's like a lot of people were saying this is like Quentin Tarantino and Martin Scorsese with a little bit of Damien Chazelle because they said it's outlandish like a Quentin Tarantino movie and it's drug fueled and orgy-ish like a Scorsese's movie. And then you got a little bit of nuisance, like for instance, whenever he goes to the movies at the end and watches a movie and experiences a movie for the first time, and you see all these other movies. That's a Chazelle thing.
It just felt like he was trying to make his own Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, his own version of it. Like
he made something. I mean,
and also I will never forget that. Dude, I would not fucking forget about the first 5 fucking minutes. And Elephant took a shit on that guy. I was like, what the fuck? I almost fucking threw. Thank God I was not in the theater. I probably would have fucking threw up. Like, what the? I can actually smell it.
Sets the tone for the whole movie. Poor Diego Calva, but
gets a fucking dump of elephant shit all over his fucking body. Like, what just happened right now?
You are either totally on board or you're walking out of the theater. There is no in between.
And then there's a dude a fat guy gets a prostitute to piss all over his face, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Like, he went all out dirty shit that I've never thought he'd be capable of doing.
Jumping around on a rubber cock, and so then
he got a little guy. He had a little guy fucking jumping onto some dude's cock. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And it was like, what is this movie? This is like it's like Wolf of Wall Street, all the orgy stuff in Wolf of Wall Street, like on coke.
If they were in the 1930s porno movie.
All soundtracked by the great Justin Hurwitz. But one thing I did want to close things off on before we go to rankings is that, to Matt's point about those who say like it was better back then, as someone who is watching or trying to watch every movie from 1999 for the 1999 project,
it was not.
The alleged greatest year for movies ever. It has been a great year, but there have been some absolute duds in 99, like Inspector Gadget, Baby Geniuses. Like the point I'm trying to get.
Even some of the older movies had some fucking awful fucking movies back then.
Like Ed Wood still operated in the 60s. Like this pretend like rose-tinted glasses like this like the 60s and further were always great. You're just wrong about that.
No, because you only think that they were better because you grew up with those in those time eras. So yeah, you're gonna going to have that kind of love and perspective. But when things evolve over time, it's not going to age with you, unfortunately. So I think it's unfortunate. For me, I love older films if they're really good quality, no matter how old, no matter how new they are. Good movie is a good movie, no matter which era it's from. That's just how I view for movies and shows. I'm not one of those fucking stupid fucking people who are so ignorant and so narrow fucking minded and saying they don't make them like they used to. I'm gonna cry
I'm gonna tell
like
you
a white
now.
little bitch.
3 of my favorite movies of last year are really good movies. I mean, like, look, I'm gonna tell you now. There are movies that are awful that I saw last year. Like, there's a movie that one of my favorite movies that I really, really wanted to see last year, and I was looking forward to it. And I was so disappointed with The Flash. I was so disappointed with The Flash. And then you know what? I loved like the movies that I didn't expect. I loved Strays. That was a really funny movie, and I
Yeah,
loved
that was fucking
that.
hilarious.
You know, I even like The Haunted Mansion.
I still have not seen the Haunted Mansion.
It's actually a really
Don't.
fun time. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like they're going to award any awards. It's just I thought it was a really fun.
I even really enjoyed another comedy movie called No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. I thought that movie was fucking hilarious.
Don't.
And I look, Anyone But You. I thought that was a really good movie.
For me, I thought it was okay. Not a movie I would watch again.
I mean,
Yeah, but
I'm almost like
don't watch don't watch Haunted Mansion. Lakeith Stanfield deserves better. But
it's actually really good, man. I actually bought that on Blu-ray because I'm like, this is actually a really good film.
You really liked it that much.
I thought it was so good because I'm like, I went to the theater with low expectation because I'm like, this isn't doing well in theaters and the reviews aren't great. And I'm like, look, it's just something past time.
No,
I
and
watched
look,
it, and
I will.
I was
And you're
engaged.
saying I do think that there's a point when it comes to comedy that they don't make comedies like they used to. It's just that the comedies is very hard now to make that they are not willing to take more chances with the offensive jokes.
I
But
think you can't. They're not gonna make it feel
Deadpool and Wolverine have a lot of offensive jokes, and it proves that you can do offensive jokes and not worry about having people getting triggered by it. You just have to let the joke take where it get.
There's a molestation joke in the movie. Like Murray says,
yeah,
just like what Scoutmaster Kevin used to say. There's a first time for everything, son. Scoutmaster. I'm like, I was like, he's just making pedophile jokes at Kevin Feige's. And it's like a Scoutmaster. I honestly would have been so funny if Kevin Feige was a Scoutmaster. You got like the little boy from Percy Jackson dressed like Ryan and like a little Boy Scout.
I thought it was gonna be him. I literally thought he was gonna be Kidpool, but it turns out that was Ryan Reynolds.
He's in the movie, isn't he? He's at the bar scene. He's at the bar scene when Deadpool walks out and like this midget Wolverine. And like he turns around,
the
like,
short Wolverine, the short 5'3" Wolverine.
He's literally in like the background of Deadpool, like he's literally looking.
Oh, I probably missed it.
I got the pictures on my phone. I don't know if I still image.
Oh, I was able to, and someone was able to catch the fucking Easter egg, the extras from the variants of Deadpool. One of them was dressing up like with Hugh Jackman's The Greatest Showman of Deadpool. I was like, oh shit, another Greatest Showman Easter egg that they dropped in.
Like the other day I saw this, I did not realize that there's a black guy who was playing Bullseye, and I'm like, I laughed so hard because
I noticed it on the first viewing.
I was like, it's a whitewashing joke, reverse whitewashing joke, where they're like, is Ryan Reynolds like, see, it's a black Irish guy, it's Bullseye.
Yeah, that was purpose. That was definitely intentional for the black actor playing the Bullseye.
They thought that was so funny. Like, let's just cast a black guy. It'd be so funny because they're gonna be so confused. Like, wait, they've cast a black guy as an Irish gangster.
And also, they literally thought, at the time when they were showing a still shot before the movie came out, they thought it was Blade, and was like, that's not a variant of Blade. It turns out when you see it up close and a better resolution,
it was
definitely a variant of Bullseye.
It was Ryan Reynolds trolling with that joke, with the Bullseye joke, going like, and he says, they say we're whitewashing, so we reversed that shit. We took we blackwashed to do white rolls, you know, with Bullseye. Colin Farrell, forget about it. We got black Irish now. That would have been so funny if that guy would have talked and goes, all right, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
And you're like, he's Irish. He's like, that guy's Irish. He goes, yes. Like, remember, there's a joke, by the way, in Charlie's Angels. I don't know if you've ever seen Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, where Bernie Mac
I did see Full Throttle. I did see that.
And he has like Patty O'Malley. He said, you don't look like a Patty O'Malley. Man, you ain't never heard no black Irish? And he goes, black Irish. Yeah. My kids, Lucky Charms. They look like leprechauns now. It's like, what?
We do have to get to our final episode, so let's put the bow on Noir. Jacob, 1 to 10.
A 2 out of 10.
All right, Matt, what about you?
Yeah, same thing. 2 out of 10. Probably the worst one out of the whole series.
And Ryan's gonna give it a fucking 9 out of 10. Watch.
No, I'm not going that high. I'm going 6. This was a
You're a sick
very
fuck, you know.
I like the style of the episode. I like the noir stuff, unlike
All you're doing is you're just like, oh, I like the style of this movie, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this movie a good video. Okay, like it's like that meme. Well, I'm gonna send you that meme. You're gonna put that in the thing of like the Andrew Yang pouring milk. I'm gonna put it says Ryan Noir. It's just, I'm gonna put that in there, Ryan Noir.
if people can
It's like-
if people can like the movie Trap because of the air quotes vibes, then I'm allowed to like noir because of the vibes. But
by the way, did you like Trap? By the way,
it makes no damn bit of sense, but I didn't hate it.
I literally told Matt a better fucking plot twist than the actual plot twist of the fucking movie.
Agreed.
I literally said, I told Matt, sent Matt a message says there are 3 plot twists in the movie. And it's like none of these are the plot twist of the fucking movie.
I didn't say there are 3. I said there's another plot twist.
I said 3. Yeah, I had 3 plot twists. I sent Matt and said, is it one of these 3? And he goes, no, but I wish. Because it's like, I wish. It's not.
But let us get to our final episode for the evening and the penultimate episode of Season 6. Season 6, Episode 21, called Prototype.
Security breach. A new weapon
Not a bad test run.
will give Lex the power
Lex has been talking about this military project called Ares.
to change everything.
He's able to create some sort of energy shield around him. I couldn't lay a hand on him.
This is just the beginning.
Smallville. All new episode next Thursday on the new CW.
Lex has been secretly turning Wes Keenan, a military man who supposedly died fighting in Afghanistan, into an air quotes super soldier by injecting him with DNA pulled from the various meteor freaks he has captured after a crooked senator, Ed Burke, who has been financing 33.1, threatens to expose Lex's labs. He dispatches Wes to kill the senator. But Lois witnesses the attack and inadvertently becomes a super soldier's next target. Meanwhile, Clark tries to convince Lana to leave Lex, but she refuses, and Clark becomes more suspicious about Lionel's involvement and with Lana's motivation. Following Senator Burke's murder, Martha is asked to be his replacement in Washington, D.C., which means leaving Smallville and Clark behind. So, Captain
Because
America
the writers gave her fucking nothing to do.
Yeah,
So-
because the last 3 episodes, she barely had anything to do in any of
She
those
literally was a
episodes.
background character this season.
Yeah, and you told that, and you mentioned before that Anthony O'Toole just was not happy with how they treated her character towards the end of season 6.
Like, you're busy being governor of Kansas, ma'am. You're fine.
Yeah, you're the senator of
He's not
Kansas.
even really the
you're
governor of Kansas. He's like, I'm a fictional character in a fictional show. Like, literally, give me something to do. I mean, come on.
I'm just the boy's mother. Like, hello.
But did
The
you notice
biggest
that
thing she had, the biggest episode of the season, was the season premiere and the episode with the illegal immigrants. That was the only 2 episodes she has this season that she actually says more than 10 lines in.
That's
Sadly,
true.
yes.
And you notice that the actor who played Wes Keenan, who played another character in season 3, who played the older brother who got injected from Clark's DNA
That
and
is
kept
Smallville
dying,
bringing
and
it
his
back to
younger
save
brother was doing a bomb threat and with the kryptonite bomb threat in that
Remember
episode.
that
When
episode?
Jonathan was in surgery,
Heart
open heart
surgery?
surgery episode.
Remember,
it was
when
in
Clark
season
had, he
3.
had a bomb on his chest and said, Clark, I need my brother. And Lex, remember, had
I need my
injected a
brother.
dead
I need him to
body.
live. And the actor who was playing that, yeah, that's the same actor. He's playing a new character in this show.
Yes, but
And I remember him, and I know he was in another show called Battlestar Galactica, which
Yeah.
the show is really good.
Which they use the same actors. Like, for instance, the Lionel's security guard, the one that dig through Lois's purse, that guy has been seen 20 fucking times already on the show, playing 20 different roles.
Yeah,
Like, he was
because
Lex's security guard in the
they have the
flashback.
tendency to always want to keep bringing back the same actors to play
Because
some of the different characters on the show.
well, because Vancouver is not a big city.
I know,
Like,
and they're literally expecting us to not notice, and they literally cannot afford one of the big name actors, and they not easy to come by.
We've touched on the fact that Vancouver is a supposedly very small province in a past episode before, so that is not new news.
They should at least give him a mustache to make it look different. You know, like, hey,
Or
well, you should say, were you on
or
Smallville? Yeah, I
glasses.
was.
Or have a beard, or
Or glasses.
grow out the fucking Winter Soldier hair.
Or
Glasses. Oh,
glasses.
glasses. Give him glasses.
Glasses, the magic glasses, or just have him grow out the hair like the Winter Soldier style.
I mean, hell, Kevin Smith got Walter Flanagan to play like 7 different roles in the first Clerks movie, but he kept changing his appearance to confuse the audience.
Oh no, Kevin Smith has done it. Yeah, I think Kevin Smith was like the first director in Hollywood to ever bring back the same cast but play different characters throughout his own movies. It worked for the majority of the part. But even when I grew up as a kid watching these Kevin Smith movies, I was like, are these the same people? Like, if this is supposed to be in the same universe, like it confused the shit out of me at the time. But then as I grew older, I kind of like, you know what? It's a satire. We're not taking it anything seriously. We just like turn our brain off and not think about it too much.
Kevin Smith movies have the budget of like, well, there's not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, so we can't exactly like be scrimping about that.
I mean, they're about the same budget as a Christopher Guest movie.
That's a good point. Yeah, and Christopher Guest uses Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, and like all of his movies too.
Didn't Christopher Guest make that pageant movie about all the killer pageant movie?
That was Drop Dead Gorgeous. Surprisingly, no, but it is like the DNA of a Christopher Guest movie. He made Best in Show. He made Waiting for Guffman. He made A Mighty Wind, which is just a hilarious title to me because
I remember, and I noticed that the actor who played Senator Byrd, he was also in Superman and Lois, and he played another character who is Tal-Ral's father in the show.
Oh wow, really? Small world.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him at first, and then when I look back and watch this episode of Prototype, I was like, this is the same dude.
That's because it's canon. I bet you half the cast in that Superman Lois have been on Smallville. Well, yeah,
they have. They definitely have.
Because they're shooting in fucking Canada. So it's like,
yeah, they're shooting in Vancouver. It's a CW show.
Exactly. You know what I really appreciate about the first season of Supergirl? They weren't shooting in Canada. They were shooting in LA. So I'm like, we're not going to get the same
fucking Man of Steel, the Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. They brought back some of the actors who played the Smallville characters on the show.
There's 5 actors in Man of Steel that were on Smallville. In fact, the Winter Soldier, he is literally in Man of Steel. He literally is the guy that gets Lois Lane.
The Arctic cargo, one of the military people in that movie.
It is very much like the Winter Soldier, what they're going for here, but I liked the performance here. I thought it was good, and I like Lois trying to like snap him out of it. I thought that was pretty well done, all things considered.
Yeah, apparently she had history with Wes Keenan.
I love the opening. I love the opening when he's killing all these men, and then Lex says, target acquired. He says, Lex is like, bring him in. He says, bring more guards in. I want to see him do it again.
Did you notice that some of the visual effects shots from Planet Earth and the satellite, that kind of almost reminded me of some of the same effects that are so dated from the movie Twister? Remember that opening, that shit? The effects looked really outdated from when you're seeing from an Earth and satellite from the beginning of the movie. I was like, that kind of felt a little similar to the opening of this episode.
Did y'all like the Lionel? I loved Lionel watching the tape of the Phantom, and he's writing the symbols down, and then he writes mirror.
Yeah, he's writing translating in Kryptonian.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, we're wondering like, hey, what the hell is he really up to, and what
he's kind of giving.
Which it kind of feels like it felt like it was going back to the first episode of the premiere. Now Clark is going to confront Lionel and demand answers of, were you really responsible for forcing Lana into marriage? That scene with his confrontation with him and Lionel, that was getting a little bit dark.
I loved Lionel, likes Clark threatening Lionel. He says, if I find anything to do this, like he was just like,
the gloves will come off.
I'm like, no, he wasn't playing.
Damn, like, dude, he will fuck him up if he finds out that he was involved.
And I do like that Lex killed the senator. Like the senator side.
Yeah, he arranged to kill. He arranged the assassination on the senator.
I also like that Lois connection to the West, and I like Lex in the lab scenes, all the scenes in the labs. especially like at the end when he's looking in the dam and he sees all the thousands and thousands of soldiers.
Oh, that was so
Yeah.
haunting. I love that.
That was like their fucking Universal Soldier style.
I mean, literally, as I said, they watched the Universal Soldier and were like, "Hey, I got an idea, Miles."
I
Also,
got
I will say, Lex
kind of
confronting
thought-
Rana about eavesdropping was also very chilling.
Oh
When he
fuck!
says,
One thing. Oh
"Don't
god, I'm
ever
sorry.
act like you're a straight
Oh yeah,
cat."
you're not a cat. Don't scope around like one. I was like,
Like-
damn, dude, he ain't messing around either. And also, I forgot about another thing that they ripped off. That not them, not the show, but from X-Men Origins, another thing they ripped off: super soldiers combining in them multiple abilities. Where do you think that's from? Fucking Deadpool, motherfucker. They fucking X-Men Origins. Gavin Wood, the fucking writers, totally ripped off from Smallville. That was
They were just watching Smallville and their friends like, "Guys, I got an idea. Smallville's on. What if we took all the powers and put them in Deadpool?" Sounds like a fucking script.
And sewed his mouth shut because that is a wise move to do. Face palm.
Yeah, and this is slowly now that Lex is becoming the Lex Luthor. We already know that he's really not messing around.
Yeah, and
Well, let me ask you this, though.
Zod's not possessing him this time. Like this is like Lex, like his id is showing.
Yeah, he wants to turn these super soldiers into mindless assassins and somehow
And
be
apparently
the
mindless
defenders.
assassins. Apparently, the mindless assassins have predator vision.
That's a good
Apparently, yeah,
point.
literally, like if you watch Predator, you've seen his fucking thermal vision.
Literally, it's just like every time I watch, like, does they take his eyeballs out and give him predator vision or something? Because it's like he sees Chloe. I'm like, why does this look like the Predator movie? Like,
And also, not only he has those meteor fucking DNA in him, he also has one of the Phantom, which is partly Titan that they took his corpse and extract his DNA into Wes.
You know, it's funny you bring that up. I was just watching Alien versus Predator last night, and I did not make that connection until just now.
and also, this episode is a callback to they make a callback to the Invisible Man when they're like, "Oh, he had the same powers as Wes," you know, because the character.
Yeah, he
from
has the same
season
powers as the
fucking one.
Invincible Dude, and then
Yeah.
he has the super strength as Titan. He's like, I never felt this since I went up against Titan.
Yeah. I did not like the Clark, Lex, and Lana bullshit of this episode where he's like, "Lana,
You need to stay with me. You have no idea what's capable of blah blah blah."
Lex is like this." Like, the only time I liked the Lex scene was with Lex and Lana, where he threatens her basically about eavesdropping.
Oh, here's another kill count from Clark. He killed Wes with his fucking heat vision when he was just leaping down right in front of him and just fucking blasted his ass with heat vision, and he fucking dies.
That was so stupid too. The way he's like,
The shot was so fucking silly. Like I couldn't even keep a straight face because that was so fucking hilarious. Like this is like ugly. Like
Like, all right, Cyclops, calm down.
and his
Two
heat vision,
fucking
the heat vision
hours
effect.
later.
But dude, the fucking heat vision effect looks so much different. It almost looked like it was a laser beam out of his eyes for a moment.
it just made me laugh though. The way it was so slow motion, and it just looked so fucking fake. Where it was like, so slow, like 2 hours.
So yeah,
later.
Clark killed Wes. He's responsible for Wes's death. He killed him. Are we not going to talk about that? Here's another body count that he did.
He's got to. We got to start doing kill counts on these freaking.
Yeah, I hope like one of these days we're gonna have to fucking find a bunch of clip of the body count that Clark did in the shit throughout the whole fucking show, just to point out the bullshit that people bitch about Superman doesn't kill conversation.
Or we can hire
Then
James
they always show
to
Rampage.
do it for us.
Please do if you can fucking go and search
He only
it.
does
put on
4
Witch
films,
Hunt.
so he's not gonna do like superhero kill counts.
To close things out going into this finale, I thought this episode was good. It wasn't great. Jacob, what do you got? 1 to 10.
I'm about 6 out of 10, maybe 7. 7? No, you know what? That's 7 out of 10 is fair. 7 out of 10 is fair.
All right, Matt, what about you?
Going a little bit higher is 7.5. It really got better and it really got us pumped for the next episode. Yeah, fuck you too. Anyway, like I thought it was
all stand out. Like 7.5, fucker.
Yeah, going 7.5, motherfucker.
Like the half just makes him seem like an asshole. It's like I'm not gonna go 7. I gotta be artsy and fartsy. 7.5.
To quote,
Want me to go higher than that?
To quote Han from Fast Five, I thought cockfights were illegal in Brazil. I'm going 7. I thought this was a good episode. It wasn't great,
Fuck you, man.
but
Fuck you.
we're going into this finale with kind of a whimper, but these finales are normally pretty good, so I'm looking forward to that highly. But I pass it
It
off to
is a really
public
good.
view.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be awesome.
Oh, let me ask you this: going into it, what do you think? Like,
Oh,
what do you think is going to happen? What's your prediction?
well, we're going to see the Phantoms again. I know that. As far as
Wild
deaths,
prediction.
And also now Martha is now becoming a U.S. senator, and she's going to move to Washington. And guess what? The name drop that Clark did. He mentioned name drop Ben Hover, which was a callback to the original Superman when Clark was about to leave his home, and he said like I talked to Ben Hover, and he'll be help out sometime on the farm. So he definitely name dropped that character that was never shown on screen. The only time that you saw Ben Hover was in the deleted scenes of Superman Returns.
Yeah.
and I think Clark tells Lana the secret. Like it finally happens.
You think that Martha dies and that he tells Jonathan the secret?
No,
I
I
mean, he
didn't
tells
say
Lana,
Martha.
not Jonathan. Jonathan's dead, dude.
Jonathan comes back from the dead.
Like Jonathan came back from the dead.
He's been dead for a while yet. But my
Do you
predictions
miss him on the show?
my predictions lock him in. Clark tells Lana the secret. The Phantoms show up again, and
Come on, wild crazy. Anything. He can throw anything.
Just go
You
crazy
could
with
say
it,
Clark
dude.
becomes gay if you wanted to. That could be a crazy.
Martha dies. There's one, but but stay tuned tonight at 9 East for the watch party. We're doing season 6, episode 22 called Phantom. So look forward to that. We're doing a watch along style. Look forward to see you there. But what did you think about these 4 episodes? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to read what you have to say. Collins, your channel's linked in the description. Tell the people where they can find you.
3D Movie Cinema. You can find me on the 3D Movie Cinema and my OnlyFans.
And you can find him in the bathroom.
You can find me in the bathroom doing some naughty things if you subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Doing a 2.5. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, you can find my YouTube channel. My goal is to reach 500 subscribers. Go check out my recent review that I did with M. Night Movie, Trap, Deadpool and Wolverine non-spoiler review, and you can check out a lot of the videos of the road to Deadpool and Wolverine. Definitely check that out. I am planning on seeing Borderlands this weekend, even though I know the reviews are getting a major backlash.
As far as this channel goes, my road to Alien Romulus will be continuing. I want to thank everyone for showing the love, especially on the Alien 3 video. That was my first solo collab with Blacktastic Media, and that went over super well, so I can't thank you all enough for checking that one out.
It was fantastic.
And I'm going to be reviewing both Alien vs. Predator and Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. Jacob Collins is going to be on to talk with me about Prometheus, and then Alien Covenant's going to wrap things up, and then Alien Romulus will be upon us, so stay tuned for all of that. Got tons of content coming up for the rest of the year. Scary Mania in October. Got something Ridley Scott related planned for November. December, I might be taking a bit of a break, but I do have some fun things planned. But that's for the rest of the year.
Are we still gonna do the secret the Road to before that movie comes out?
Yes.
October?
Yes, we are. But
okay.
As far as that goes, for Jacob Collins, for Matt Wyatt, my name is Ryan Cam. For Truth, for Justice, for the American Way, always hold on to Smallville. We will see you tonight, 9 East, for the watch party. Y'all take it.
You better start watching it, you sons of bitches.